Hi YouTubers, in a previous video I had some fun with eddy currents. As a response to this video I got a message from Mike from space where he basically told me that I should be aware of the poles on the magnets for better results. I was a little skeptical because for any practical purposes the south and north poles on a single magnet are equally strong. But I like experimenting with magnets, so let's test it. First I mark the poles on the magnet using a compass. Check the video link in the description for more details on how to do this. Now let's try it using the 90 degrees drop test. First 5 times with the south pole against the copper. Let's see how many times it makes it without falling off. Fail. Fail. Oh, come on. Fail. Nope, that was quite pathetic. Let's try it with the north pole against the copper instead. Oh yeah. So close. Perfect. Okay. Oh. So, it does look like the North Pole is much better for this test. I did of course perform all tests far away from my huge magnets that have quite a dramatic effect on north and south in parts of my house. But I couldn't remove the Earth's own magnetic field, so maybe this is the reason for the results. I quickly aligned the copper bar north-south and tried on all 4 sides. But it still was the North Pole that performed best on all sides. Shouldn't we expect a big difference on the copper bar's north and south sides if it is the Earth's magnetic field that makes the difference? Well, there isn't an obvious difference, but then I remembered a trick I came across when making the video about determining the poles of a magnet. If you drop a neodymium magnet, it will, where I live, have a tendency to end up with the south pole upwards. To explain this, we need to look at our world on a bigger scale. Based on my video's view analyzer, chances are that you are sitting somewhere here in North America. But I live over here in a tiny country called Denmark. Let me just zoom in. It is that tiny peninsula right there. If I point on Denmark and the magnetic pole, you can see that I actually live quite close to it, and the magnetic field of the Earth comes from the liquid outer part of the core deep inside the Earth. So I'm more or less living on top of a magnetic pole. Here's a simplified illustration taken from Rick Hoadley's website. His website is a treasure chest of information about magnetism. The magnetic poles are constantly moving a little, but geographic North Pole is around here, and I live around here. Notice that the magnetic field lines are going into Earth at a low angle and not just following the Earth's surface. It is this angle into Earth that strong magnets tend to follow. Where I live, the North Pole on a magnet prefers to point a little into the Earth. That's why a neodymium magnet flips around when free falling. It also explains why I should put North Pole against the copper. If I put north outwards, the magnet prefers to flip a little away from the copper, and then gravity takes over and pulls the magnet off the copper. With north against the copper, it's harder for the magnet to flip without lifting itself, so it's more stable against the copper, letting the eddy currents do their job. Another tip is from Chris Andonoski: increase the efficiency by cooling the copper. I only tried cooling it to minus 18 degrees Celsius because that was easy, but it was enough to improve. Search YouTube for eddy currents in copper cooled by liquid nitrogen. It's awesome.